Hello student, good morning to all. How are you all? I hope you are doing good. Stay at home, stay safe. So, I am here again to continue the story which I told you last class. So, the story of village Palampur, second part, to be continued. Okay, so as I told you in last class, the story is based on Palampur and how it is well connected with the neighboring villages and town, and how the electricity is there, then it is having the well drainage program, everything is there in that village. So the next thing is, already we are discussed that this village and the story of the village is told you only because of the one thing that is called production. So as I told you, in production four thing is important. The first thing is your natural resources like your land, water and minerals. Second is labor. Third is your physical capital, and the most important, the fourth, is your human capital. So now again come back to the village Palampur. See, as you can see that farming in Palampur. So for Palampur, farming is their main production, and the well-being of these people is related to production on the farms. So as I told you, the farmers of Palampur and their main activities is farming. 75% of the people, they are depending on farming. Some are farmer and some are farm laborers. Okay, and whatever they will earn or whatever they will produce, that is closely related to their livelihood. Okay, are you getting? Good. But there is a basic constraint in rising farm production. What is the basic constraint? The basic constraint is land. What is that? Land. Land areas under cultivation is practically fixed. The basic constraint is the land, because production is limited, the area is limited, okay, and the cultivation land is fixed. That's why they are not able to produce more crops. Now there is a question for you, that is there a way one can grow more from the same land? Is there a way that one can grow more from the same land? Yes, it is possible, but for that we need proper facilities available in our land or areas. Okay, so as we are talking about the Palampur, we can see that in Palampur, in the rainy season, Kharif farmers grow jowar and bajra. In rainy season, they are producing your jowar and bajra. And if you see that second point, that followed by the cultivation of potato between October and November, and after the bajra and jowar, they are producing potato between your October and December. Okay. In winter, farmers grow wheat, and part of the land is devoted to sugar harvested once every year. You know, in winter the farmers are growing your wheat, and a piece of land is devoted for the sugar cane, okay, which is harvested once in a year. Why this all 3 or 4 different crops they are able to grow in the same land is here. Due to the well developed irrigation, farmers can grow 3 different crops. Because of the well developed irrigation system, the farmers are able to grow different kind of crops in the same piece of land. Now electricity transformed the system of the irrigation. You know, electricity transformed the system of irrigation. How? Because of the electricity, now the electrical run tube wells were used by the farmer, and they able to do the farming in 3 different times in same year in same piece of land. Now next, multiple cropping means to grow more than one crop on a piece of land. As you all know that the multiple cropping means we can grow more than one crops in the same piece of land, that is called as multiple cropping. Okay, now another way for higher yield is modern farming. Another way for higher yield is modern farming. Modern farming in the sense what? Here in modern farming they are using different kind of fertilizer, chemicals, seeds, then equipments they are using for the modern farming. Okay, so you can see that how it started. First, in the late 1960s, the Green Revolution introduced the Indian farmer to cultivation of wheat and rice using high yield varieties, seeds, that is called HYVS. Okay, you can see that in the later 90s, Green Revolution introduced the farmer to cultivation of wheat and rice with the help of HYV or high yielding varieties of seeds. Now, the yield of wheat grown from the traditional varieties was 13 kg per hectare, whereas with the HYV seeds it went up to 2300 kg per hectare. You can see that difference. When people of Palampur they were using traditional yields for growing wheat, they were getting only 1300 kg per hectare. In the same piece of land, when they started modern farming with the help of HYV seed, it went up to 32 kilo per hectare. It went up to 32 kilo per hectare. It is huge, right? Am I right or no? Yeah. Now, another question for you that will the land sustain? Why the question came? Will the land sustain? Because of the modern farming. In traditional farming, people they were not using more fertilizer, they are using traditional seed. For that there were no need of the fertilizer, chemical and the HYV. For that they are simply using less amount and everything was very less. But when the modern farming introduced to India, what happened? The modern farming need different things. What all the things they need, you just see. Due to the increased use of chemical fertilizer, soil loss, so modern farming method have overused the natural resources based. What happened when they started modern farming? Modern farming method have overused the natural resources base. Natural resources base means in modern farming they need more rain, they will use more fertilizer. With that the fertility of the soil will go on. Okay, so with that they are destroying the natural resources, which is very difficult to recover. Remember that it is very difficult to recover. Now the next point is, due to the increasing use of chemical fertilizer, soil lost its fertility. As I told you, due to the use of chemical fertilizer in soil lost the fertility. Natural resources like soil fertility and groundwater are destroyed and it is very difficult to restore them. As I told you that natural resources like your soil or groundwater, they are destroyed by the human and it is very difficult to restore. It is very difficult to restore. So for today this much enough. So we will continue the same topic in next class. Till then, stay at home, stay safe. Bye.